we can start, I presume. So, let's say for the next 40 minutes, I'm going to update you with the great innovations we're going to have inside the Business Objects BI 4.3. Before we move on, the legal disclaimer, the Business Objects BI 4.3 suite is not out yet. It's going to be delivered very shortly. I'm going to share with you our plan regarding this. And as usual, the things I'm going to share with you, well, things can change. In fact, we can decide to remove a functionality without any notification, and what I will have presented to you will not be as part of the build. But never mind. Today, what I'm going to share with you is consistent. We have this in the product in several months now. Everything is running. We are finalizing the scope. And what I'm going to share with you, you're going to have it. My very first message, SAP is committed to continue to invest into the on-premise BI suite. So even if you heard a lot about SAP Analytics Cloud, we continue to develop to increase the capabilities of your on-premise BI suite. And the BI 4.3 is a proof that we continue to invest into your favorite enterprise solution. Some marketing slides quickly. Like I said, we have two key solutions that you are investing in nowadays. SAP Analytics Cloud for the companies, for the customers who are willing to go to the cloud, who are looking for a software as a service solution, and the Business Objects BI suite for companies who want to continue to execute their BI on-premise. And this being said, doesn't mean that you are investing only in these two areas. We have three areas that you are focusing on. Like I said, SAP Analytics Cloud for BI, predictive, and planning, Business Objects BI Suite with the BI 4.3. And of course, because we want companies to leverage both solutions, we are working on interoperability hybrid, because we want you to benefit of all the quick innovations we are delivering into SAP Analytics Cloud, but on top of all your investments you have made inside SAP Business Objects. So this is the BI Portfolio 2020, where we found again the two solutions, so SAP Analytics Cloud for BI planning and predictive. And regarding the on-premise suite, so Business Objects BI, we are focusing, let's say, on three main products now. Web Intelligence is one of them, with a new positioning for this tool. So Webby is now positioned as ad hoc query, operational reporting, and self-service dashboarding. That's new. We continue also to recommend Crystal Report for pixel perfect reporting for the companies who want to create this kind of document. Crystal Report is still part of the portfolio on-premise. Lumira Designer for companies who are looking for custom application on-premise, even if nowadays we position Application Designer, which is part of SAP Analytics Cloud, for the same use case. And the last one is the Excel add-ons, where you will find Analysis for Office and Live Office. That's two add-ons that you continue to invest and develop. This being said, all the other products, if you do not see them on the screen, doesn't mean that you have decided to stop to support them. No, we continue to support them. It's just that the level of investment for all the other tools compared to the ones I've just mentioned is slightly different, and we'll explain you in a few seconds what I mean. Okay, before to present the innovation that you're going to have inside the Business Objects BI 4.3, we're going to do a quick poll. So Christophe, please.
Thank you very much. So basically the first poll is around which business object version you're using today. So please take a couple seconds to fill up the poll. And by the way, after each poll, we'll be sharing the results, and all these results will be shared after the event. And Gregory, if I recall, 3.1, 4.0, and 4.1 are actually already end of life, if that's correct.
Yes, this is correct.
Okay. And it'll be very interesting to see who's in SP7 and SP8. So I'm assuming most people are no longer in the old versions. There's still a few, but for most part, I think people are in 4.2, and we see a lot of people with 360 Suite customers in SP6 and over. So let's see what the results are. So yeah, just a few in old versions, and actually a lot of people are still between 4.2, SP1, and SP6, but that's most people are in newer versions. Let's move on.
Okay, thanks, Bruno. So let's talk about the BI for the tree. So what you see on the screen are the three main area of investment for the BI for the tree. We have decided to invest in three pillars. The first one is hybrid. So like I said, we want you to get the best of SAP Analytics Cloud on top of your business object investment. The second one is user experience. As part of the BI for the tree, you're going to have brand new interfaces. I'm going to demo that in a few seconds. And the last one is enterprise readiness. This is all the things, cumulative things. We have enhanced this concern, the way we install the BI for the tree, the way you will be able to audit the BI for the tree, the support of the most recent database and data sources on-premise and in the cloud, the support of the most recent operating system, etc., etc. So I propose to go one by one, even if I'm going to focus mostly on the user experience inside the demo. Okay, for the hybrid, it's not a new capability. This is already there. We have the live data access, which is already out, but within the BI for the tree, you're going to have the live data access 3.0. So quickly, what is it about? This is the ability from SAP Analytics Cloud, by leveraging the live data access driver, to connect to your on-premise system and to use all your relational universes, but with SAP Analytics Cloud, meaning that inside SAC, I can create stories on top of my existing universes. The value proposition of this solution is the fact that your data never leaves your corporate network. All the data remain on-premise, they never go to the cloud. So this is a fully secured solution, and it allows you and your end users to really use all the SAP Analytics Cloud capabilities on top of something that you are using on a daily basis, your existing universes. So as part of the BI for the tree, we're going to deliver as an independent package the live data access 3.0 that will have cumulative enhancements in this area. But at the same time, the main thing that the live data access 3.0 will provide you is the following one. Thanks to the live data access 3.0, not only will you be able to access all the relational universes, UNV and Unix, but also, starting with the BI for the tree, you will be able to access all the data stored inside all your existing Web Intelligence documents. So to achieve that, we introduce in BI for the tree a new concept called the Web Intelligence data model. I'm going to come back on this concept and better explain it in a few minutes, but the idea is the following one. In the same way that your universes, the data behind your universes remain on-premise inside the corporate network, thanks to the Webby data model, SAP Analytics Cloud will be able to access all the data stored into any Web Intelligence document, and you will be able to create new things on top of that, new stories, or dig into specific axes of your Webby document, etc., etc. So, starting for the tree, the live data access will be able, 3.0 will be able to access all your existing data inside any Web Intelligence document. So that's all as far as for the hybrid capabilities, which concern universes and the Web Intelligence document. There is also hybrid capabilities that concerns the platform. There is in fact two enhancements in this area. The first one is the ability to provision your existing BI users and group, but inside SAP Analytics Cloud. To achieve that, we did some announcement for the SCIM, so the System for Cross-Domain Identity Management. This is an API which is available in SAP Analytics Cloud. When you access it, if you declare your business objects on-premise system, you will be able to see all your users and all your group of users. You will be able to assign specific role to a user or group of users. You will be able to do this once or decide to do it periodically, so every week, for example, which means that if you add a new user on-premise, it will be automatically created inside SAP Analytics Cloud for this usage. The second one, it does not concern the users, it concerns the content. It was the following way. You might have heard of the solution SAP Analytics Hub, which is a kind of portal, but in the cloud, where you can create assets. An asset is a kind of tile with a lot of metadata information. And if you click on one of these tiles, it will open a document, whatever the document is. It can be a Crystal report, a Webby document, a Lumira, a dashboard, or it can be anything else which remain on-premise. So to achieve that, you have to declare manually, create things in SAP Analytics Hub. We wanted to shorten the experience, so starting BI 4.3, you will be able to declare your SAP Analytics Hub system, but from the CMC. Once you have done that, if you add any on-premise content into a certain category, all the documents added to a specific category will be automatically created inside SAP Analytics Hub automatically for you. This is a kind of wizard or shortcut. It will avoid you to create manually, 100 entries in SAP Analytics Hub one by one. No, the product will do this for you automatically. And in fact, what we'll do is just create a tile in SAP Analytics Hub and create the corresponding open document pointing to your on-premise document. And that's it for the hybrid capabilities. And if I'm right, you're going to have a full session later on today about the hybrid capabilities that SAP is proposing you.
This is correct.
Thank you, Bruno. So now that's the end of the slide. So now that's the demo time. So I'm going to show you your next BI 4.3. Can you see my screen?
We can.
You can. Okay, this is a brand new BI 4.3. So let's log on. So by the way, within the BI 4.3, maybe let's go one by one. To go to the BI 4.3 for you, all the customers who are using BI 4.1 or BI 4.2, this is a simple update, as if you are going to another service pack. You don't have to recreate a brand new BI 4.3 system from scratch. No, you just have to apply a kind of update on top of your existing system. As part of the BI 4.3, because this is a simple update, everything you have defined previously, I mean, the different clusters, your sizing, your deployment, all the authorizations, all the roles you have defined, all your existing content, everything remains exactly the same and must work exactly the same. That's an important point. Which means that, for example, all the type of authentication you have put in place, which can be SSO, enterprise, or something else, will be fully supported and leveraged once we go with the BI 4.3. So in my case, this is a simple enterprise authentication. So I'm going to log in into the new BI Launchpad. Oh. This is your new BI Launchpad. So we call it the BI Theory Launchpad. You get a preview of this one with the BI 4.2 Service Pack 4, where we delivered as an option the ability to use it. It was for you to get used to this new interface. In BI 4.3, no choice. We are not going, as part of the BI 4.3, deliver the classic BI Launchpad, the one that you have in 4.1 and 4.2. No. In 4.3, no choice. You have only this portal, the BI Fiori Launchpad. Only the interface is new. We are using some Fiori concept. And what you try to achieve is to make it really modern and easy to use. So let me describe it during the few minutes. So at the top, you have some shortcuts to navigate into the interface. You go to your favorite documents, to go to the recent document, to go to the recently run document, or to go to the application. So it works like frame, and the first frame will bring you to some additional interface. For example, here it is a list. If I click on this tile, it will give me the list of all the documents I can access. The second tile will show me the list of instances. By instances, it means all the scheduling or publication tasks I have created or someone has created for me. So by the way, you have a brand new interfaces for the scheduler and for the instances that will help you to access the information you are looking and to find it more easily, right? You are bringing some shortcuts. Okay, you have the list of categories, all your categories. Currently, I just have one category, which is created by default, which is the hub asset, the categories I just mentioned for the hybrid part, meaning that every document I will add into the hub asset category will be automatically declared as part of the SAP Analytics Hub. And I have my BI inbox if I want to share documents between users, and I have the folders. The folder is the classic view of all your personal folder, that is the first one here, and public folder or corporate folders. We fully respect and leverage what you have put in place. I can see several folders here, but maybe in your situation, an end user will see only one folder because he got the right to see only one folder. That's the one he can access and find the document he has the right to consume. And that's it. And if you look at an Collab Expand, I will get some documents in it. And then if I go back, I have my favorite document. To create a favorite document is quite easy. I just have to go into the folder, open an existing document. I'm going to show you right how it works. Demo here. I just have to go right click here and click as mark as favorite. There we go. And the document will be part of your favorite view here now. Okay. The BI 4.3 Launchpad can be simplified and is fully customized. I'm going to show you how. So if you go here, if you go to settings, if you go to page customization, I can decide to show or hide specific area of the BI Fiori Launchpad. For example, if I don't want to see the recently run document, or if you want to hide as part of the home the recycle bin, the BI inbox, and why not the categories tile, you just have to uncheck them. You save. You have to refresh the screen. And here you go. Some of the tile has been removed. The recently run has been removed. Well, I could have hidden also the recent document. So the end user can decide to do it for himself. So it can be done per user, or the administrator can push this kind of modification for all the users. So I'm going to revert back my selection here, decide to display everything, save, and here we go. So that's the new BI Fiori Launchpad. It has additional innovations, but for reason of time, I can't show you all of them. And now I'm going to show you something else. Okay, I'm going to show you the new Web Intelligence interface. So as part of BI 4.3, we have a brand new Web Intelligence client. The interface has been created in HTML5. It works on all modern devices, which are touch ready, for example. Which means that this web interface works on an iPad or on a Microsoft Surface Pro, for example. You can use a finger to play with it. And don't show this again. You see that customers can join anymore the meeting. We did a lot of modification with the aim to simplify and modernize the usage of web intelligence, and with the goal, we want really Webby to move from the IT and the power user, and we want you to put Webby in the hands of your classic casual end users, to let them really create their own report themselves independently of any IT department, for example. And to achieve that, we did a lot of modifications. So let me show you what I mean by enhancement and modification. So what you are looking at is a web intelligence document created in 4.2, and as you can see in 4.3 it opened nicely. I'm going to show you another example. This is the view mode of web intelligence. That's something similar that we give to you, starting 4.2 as before. You have some shortcut at the bottom to do fit to page. You can zoom in, zoom out. You can go to the next page if you have additional next page. You have a new filter bar with all the filtering capabilities. That's where you're going to find all your input controls, all your drill actions, and so on and so on. By the way, we have decided to modernize the input control as well. And you will find all the classic capabilities: drill, up, down, fold and fold, automatic refresh and track data changes, save as. Yep, so far nothing new. It's just a view mode of an existing web intelligence document. But what is new is from the view mode now, you can go to the design mode simply by clicking here, the new edit button here. And if you click here, you're going to get all the classic designer capabilities, but inside the new experience where everything has changed a little bit. So let me explain the new interface you have in front of you. At the top of the screen, you have all the non-contextual actions, so meaning that all the actions such as save as, and redo, access the data of your web intelligence document. That's a new query panel, by the way, which has been also modernized, but only the look and feel has changed. You will find into the new webinar is full. Okay, thanks. You will find all the same capabilities in the query panel in the BI 4.3. Yes. And also at the top of the screen, you're going to find, oh, hold on, I should have not clicked on yes, because I'm going to wait a few seconds. Okay. You're going to find all the actions to insert tables, insert charts, insert predefined cells, access the filter bar, create new filters, new input controls, new group of input controls, etc., etc. Access the formula bar here, and all the actions to navigate in your document, such as zoom in, zoom out, go to the next page, etc., etc. Then on the right side, we have two new panels. The first one is classic. That's that's the structure panel, where you can select one by one elements of your chart. As you can see, if I select something, it will highlight the corresponding block. And by the way, you can see that when you select a block, you have some quick action at your disposal here. So hide, delete. And below the structure panel here, that I'm going to minimize, I have the classic list of objects. This is the objects result of the different queries. Can be by folders if you want, or you can decide to sort them by queries. Here we go. And if you want to create or manipulate your dashboard, your report now, we have a second new panel. We call it the build panel here. And if you click on the small icon here, it will open the build panel, where you will find all the action related to the creation and the formatting of your blocks. So to make this more meaningful, I'm going to show you on a document that you're going to create from scratch. So let's start with the second document, which is blank. And let's open it in edit mode again. So once again, we find here the structure mode, the list of objects, and the build panel that's going to open here. And let's create a few things in it. So before, let's do a zoom out just to make it things more comfortable. Here we go. And let's start to create a few things. You're going to understand how it works quickly. So I'm going to create an indicator here. Okay, the indicator is empty. Now, if I want to create and feed my indicator, I just have to select it, enter the build panel here, and do a data assignment. So to achieve that, I'm going to select, for example, cost of gross sales and drag and drop into this area. And that's it. My first indicator has been created. I gave it a little bit more space, and I would like to format it a little bit. I would like to be red. That's it. Done. Now I'm going to duplicate it. By the way, you still have at your disposal in Webby for the tree the right click. The right click is exactly the same. You will find exactly the same action, but the look and feel has been modernized again. Copy. Sorry, paste. Here we go. I've got a second indicator. I'm going to change the filling for this one as well. So this time I'm going to use a margin, for example, and drag and drop here instead. Here we go. And then change the color coding of this indicator to, let's say, blue. Here we go. And I can move on. I can copy, paste. Here we go. That's the second one. I'm going to format it a little bit again. Make it, sorry, I wanted to make it, let's say, green. And I'm going to change the KPI in it easily by choosing net sales. You can do it this way. And I can move on like this and continue. I'm going to create a line chart. Quite easy. Let's take a trend line. I place it here. You can notice that to change the size, we have new anchor on the top, left, right, and bottom of the block to easily position and increase the size. This is part of the enhancement we bring. And if I want to do some data assignment, so I just have to go here, select one by one the object I need, calendar week, calendar month, and I need the net sales, for example, which are here, and drag and drop here. And here we go. My chart has been created quickly. So as you can see, now for your end users to create something in Webby is really simple. You decide what you want to create. I want to create a vertical table. I place the vertical table here. Vertical table is empty. I select it. Here we go. There, in the data part, I can simply drag and drop what I want. So I can do it by doing drag and drop directly in the build panel here. Or I can do it in a classic way by selecting the objects and drag and drop it here in the table directly. And I can move on and so on and so on. So let's say I have, let's say, 20 minutes more, and I will have created this kind of Webby document easily. So that's what I mean by we have a brand new interface to make Webby really simple. We want really the end user to play with the product, and thanks to this new build panel, because now nothing is hidden. When I select a block, I can see the way it has been created, because I see the objects used to build it quite easily, and I can decide to change it really easily. I can just click here to delete or drag and drop from the list of objects into the build panel to build something. And that's it. Another thing I would like to show you, because here, wow, this is really classic things that you are all using on a daily basis. If you are looking for innovations, we can count on this kind of things. As part of the BI for the tree, we support, of course, the visual extensions. And thanks of one of our partners, the Need4Viz partner, Need4Viz is the name of the partner, he has created for you a ton of extensions, visual extensions that you can use not only inside your web extensions for the tree documents, but also into Webby for the tube. What can you achieve with this kind of extension? For example, you can use table with scroll bar. right? You can get this new kind of chart with visual effect. You can get this chart with this kind of drill down experience, very visual. You will be able to create sunbursts such as this one. Not only will you be able to achieve this kind of things, but you will get the ability, for example, at the view time, to transform a stack bar into an area chart or an area chart into a line chart. And you can achieve that thanks to this, to the new Viz extension created by this partner, Need4Viz again. He has a ton of examples. This bubble chart can be reframed. You can use Google Charts as part of your WebIt document by leveraging your WebIt data. And I show you how it works. It works nicely. To achieve that, you don't need latitude or longitude. You can use fully qualified address to drill down to the place of your shop, of your factory. And thanks to Google Maps, you can see your factory immediately inside the shop if you have a shop at the following address. That's amazing. I really love this this extension. Okay, so as you can see, you can achieve great things with WebIt for the tree today. Let's go back to the slide, and I think I will have to shorten my presentation. Let's go back here.
By the way, Gregory, when is the GA for 4.3?
I will come back to this one in 1 minute, if you allow me.
Sure.
I mentioned that as part of the 4.3, you have a brand new concept, the WebIt data model. What is it? In Webi, in all your existing WebIt documents, you have tons of data. Webi is composed of one query, merged with a second query, merged with query number 3 and 4. It gives you a lot of objects, dimensions, measures, and variables. What you will be able to achieve now is to do a selection of these objects, and these selections will become a Webi data model that you will be able to share to achieve something else. The first thing we'll be able to do is to let SAP Analytics Cloud access and consume the data as part of this Webi data model, but also you will be able to export this Webi data model as a web service, or the Webi data model, you will be able to consume it with Webi directly, which means that now we have the following use case scenario where all the power users can continue to create their Webi document plus validate the Webi data model, and all the classic end users that, thanks to the new Webi interface, will be able to access the Webi data model without having the need to create a query, and will be able to themselves to perform their own analysis. And you keep the things in synchronization, which means that if you update the Webi data model, the Webi document used to create it will be updated as well. And you have tons of additional innovation in Webi 4.3. You do not imagine. You will get all the details because the slides are public. I'm going to share them with you. Quickly, we have enhancement request for Crystal Report as well. That's the list here. As part of the enterprise readiness pillar, we have things in the area of better manage the cache, better silent installation, better admin capabilities, better audit capabilities, and so on and so on and so on. We have enhancement for the semantic layer. One of my favorites is the ability to create extension for the semantic layer. So if you want to bring your own capabilities inside IDT, this is doable today as part of the Webi IDT 4.3. And you have a brand new data sources that you support. For example, Google BigQuery and Snowflake are fully supported with the BI 4.3, but also with the 4.2 SP8. Okay, I think that's time for the pool number 2, Bruno.
Yep, thanks a lot, Gregory. So when are you actually planning to go to 4.3? So are you planning to do it this year, next year? Basically, what are your plans? And by the way, while people are filling up the poll, basically make sure that you ask your questions in the chat box on the right. And also feel free to send chats or LinkedIn messages at hashtag BobJLive. So we're going to close the poll in another 10, 15 seconds. And by the way, Gregory, it's really impressive to see all the improvements with 4.3, and I'm really excited to see the interactive Webby.
Thank you very much, Bruno.
Is also very nice since 4.2. It's quite impressive. Okay, so basically, most people are actually planning to go in 4.3 as of 2021. So that's
okay,
pretty
perfect. Good.
Let's move on.
Yep. Yes, move on. So a few additional information, and it should be the end of my presentation. The dates. So Bruno, the GA is, of the BI 4.3 is planned for June 2020, and more precisely, it will be the, around June the 12th. Okay. After that, we will have the 4.3 Service Pack 1 in December 2020, with additional Service Pack after the Service Pack 1, like you might imagine. So we have the Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3 with additional innovations. Once the 4.3 will be out, we plan to support it at least until 2027, which means that we do not exclude to extend the supportability of the BI 4.3 way after 2027. We don't know yet. It will depend on you. So, well, that's it. We have all the dates now. So we continue to innovate. Innovation will be part of the Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3, and so on. GA June the 12th, and we will support the BI 4.3 at least until 2027. Okay, now the pain part. There is things that we will not deliver as part of the BI 4.3. Don't get it wrong. This is in red just to let you know that these things, these functionalities are not part of the BI 4.3 GA and will not be shipped afterward. No, simply no, never. The classic BI Launchpad, the desk key compatibility pack, the upgrade manager, report correction tool. So all these kind of functionalities are not part of the BI 4.3. Not only these functionalities are not part of the BI 4.3, but there is also some products that will not be part of the BI 4.3. This is the case for Explorer, for Access to Dashboard, and the BI widget. As part of that, all the others are compatible or are part with the BI 4.3. For example, UDT, Universe Designer tool for the .unv, IDT, the Web Intelligence client. So we have a web version and an updated Webby rich client, so the desktop version as well, with the same new look and feel. Lumira Designer, Lumira Discovery, and so on and so on. Okay, so the recap. So we have all the hybrid pillars. You're going to have a deep dive later on. All the user experience. I really encourage you to discover most of the new capabilities when you will get the slides, because there is tons of things, and all the enterprise readiness capabilities. Here again, I did not show them to you, but there is a lot of new innovations, not only for the BI platform, but also for the semantic layer. Okay, I will mark a pause now. I would like to thank you for your attention. It was short for me, let's say. FootyC Suite is used to me, so presenting the BI 4.3 in 40 minutes is a challenge for me, but I think you get the sense of the content of the BI 4.3. And if you allow me now, if you still have time, I will have a look at the questions and take the time to answer some of them. Okay?
Okay, Gregory, we'll only have like 3-4 minutes if you want to answer a couple of questions, because we have so many. Probably what we'll do is go through a couple of questions, and then we'll get back together after the event. We'll share with you the questions, and then we'll get back to all the persons that asked the questions one by one. And we'll provide all the answers by next week to all these questions. So I'll just give you maybe 3-4 minutes, Gregory.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yep. Yes. Okay. So the first question, well, I pick up one by one. Why is the classic Launchpad not available in 4.3? Are you saying we're going to have only the BI Fiori Launchpad? Yes, you're going to have the one and only, the new BI Fiori Launchpad. Why not the classic Launchpad as well? Because it means that you have to support both. So it means that we divide our effort. So you have to pay the price once for you and you're going to pay the price, you have to go to the BI Theory Launchpad and benefit of all the new experience. Or to get the best of the new BI Theory Launchpad, you have to prepare yourself. And I see there is a question in this area. We're going to help you to drive, to manage this change. So yes, what I'm talking about is the change management. And for this, we're going to deliver short videos, short documents that will help you and your end users to be really comfortable quickly within the new interfaces, not only inside the new BI Theory Launchpad, but also inside the new Web Intelligence experience. Okay, what else? I see there was a question regarding performance, because that's something. Oh yes, I see this one. We are on 4.2 Service Pack 7, and many users reported that Fiori Launchpad is too slow as compared to Classic Launchpad, so we had to go to Classic 1. How is the performance of Fiori within BI 4.3? Guess what? We had, we didn't claim it, but there was an action item for the entire dev team to work on performance. The BI 4.3 Launchpad is as quick as the BI 4.2 Service Pack 7 Launchpad. We did the test no longer, I get the results no longer than last week, and this concerns the opening of any Web Intelligence document as quick as in 4.2, but also the navigation and inside the Webby document. So you can expect at least the same experience in 4.3, in the BI 4.3 Launchpad, that's what you have today in the BI 4.2 Launchpad. So here, that's a huge effort we did. So I'm glad you asked the question, because I didn't have it in part of the presentation. But yes, the performance are there inside the BI 4.3.
And Gregory, maybe just a last question. I see one question from Rajesh, and he's asking is, as of 4.2 SP6, if he can switch between Fiori mode and non-Fiori mode to prepare for 4.3.
Yes, that's the reason why we have added this as an option on the 4.2 stack. That's really to help you to start to drive the change management one by one. Some customers did it, some customers did not, because they prefer the classic experience. Yes, that's a good way to start drive the change management. I'd like to add one last thing, because I see the questions. In 4.3, with Webby, this is purely an HTML5 experience. So another value proposition you're going to have is you will not have to manage anymore the Java runtime on your local PC, because we get rid of the Java applet. Once again, Webby in 4.3 is purely in HTML5.